All right, the Lakers are introducing Bronny James right now. Bronny has signed his deal in L.A.
That in itself is like 55th of overall pick, getting a guaranteed deal? Huh. Interesting. That's very normal and usual for that selection for the third last pick in the draft.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think it's the fourth to last pick. He was 55th out of 58.
Technically, sure. There you go.
Do I need to step out? Here?
Hold me back.
All
Lucky
right.
there's glass there.
But the Lakers and the Portland Trailblazers have been rumored in trade conversations with each other for the first time since 1980. Goodness gracious, it's a long time. Not friends. And you know what? That makes my heart warm. That no trade has been consummated between the two in 44 years. But there is a growing sense that the Portland Trailblazers and Los Angeles Lakers could come to an agreement. And Jerami Grant is at the center of those talks. And this is a slippery one because what do the Lakers have to offer that the Blazers would want outside of draft picks in 2029 and 2031?
Rui Hachimura is the other thing that you could talk yourself into of being of value to Portland. Beyond that, D'Lo doesn't have any value.
No.
Gabe Vincent doesn't have any value. Nope. And I don't think they have value as like pieces for another deal either. You're not sending those onto a third team. So really the things that you're getting back of tangible asset value would be Rui Hachimura and the 2029 and 2031 first-round picks. And if you're the Trailblazers right now, and as I understand it, they've had discussions with the Lakers about Jerami Grant, but they're going, okay, cool. You go ahead and call us back when you're willing to give up both picks. Otherwise, we're going to hold on to Jerami Grant because it does not make sense. And I've seen some people say, well, the Blazers should really push for Dalton Connect. No, they shouldn't. Number one, they're not getting him in any of those deals. Number two, there's a reason why Dalton Connect fell to 17.
Yeah.
The track record of 23-year-old draft picks is not great.
No.
It's kind of why I've downplayed Dalton Connect throughout the process. It's like, look, if they want to go that way, fine. I don't see it. And he's not 23, doesn't make him old or dead. I'm just saying in totality, if you're looking at 23-year-old draft prospects, they typically do not do great.
No, and look, he can shoot, and his situation where the gravity of the offense will be towards Anthony Davis and LeBron James, he will probably have a pretty decent year shooting, right?
And JJ Redick's going to put him in spots that are going to, put him in a place to be successful.
But at the same time, it would not be as successful here in Portland because what do the Blazers lack? Shooters.
Not just that, but the ability. Like, as much as I have faith that Scoot Henderson's going to get better, they do not have somebody who has all of this rim pressure and creation that LeBron James at 40 years old still has.
Or Anthony Davis.
Yeah. So,
look, okay.
Dalton will be entirely fine, but people need to stop throwing his name out because the Lakers aren't giving him up in any
and they need guys that are cheap.
Yeah, cheap controlled contracts and again, if all Dalton is like a good rotation wing, that's good for the Lakers. And they're just not going to give that up on a rookie scale deal under the current climate of the new CBA. That's just what it is.
Okay. Rob Pelinka has said if the right deal comes and we have to put in draft picks, we will. We're now in the apron world. Does it make good trades more challenging? Yes. Does it make good trades impossible? No. That is from Rob Pelinka at the presser today because they know they need to bolster this roster and they need to do it in pretty short order. There is this also looming cloud hanging over these trade conversations as it pertains to Portland, LA, and Jerami Grant. And you've mentioned this several times, and you mentioned it yesterday as talking about Jerami Grant he is a clutch client. Well, Gunderson went on with Dirt and Sprague this morning.
Indeed.
And he was talking about that relationship right now.
I think right now, considering the Lakers are the suitor for Jerami Grant and that all of their other options to make the team better have kind of have been exhausted, I feel like you could drive the price up on that. So I think you ask for 2 firsts And also, like, hey, we've talked a little bit about like Portland doing a lot of favors for Clutch Sports. Like, what if a favor comes back the other way for once?
Yeah.
For the Blazers, like maybe this is why you do the business with them, so that when this time comes, you get the King's ransom from the Lakers, and you get both of their picks. Maybe you get Dalton Connect, and with the salary filler of Hachimura and Gabe Vincent, I just think you're in a better opportunity to leverage the Lakers right now than you are the Magic, because like the Magic, who's the team that we're all thinking for Ant, like I don't feel like I'm breaking any news there.
Eric Gunderson, Blazer Banter on Twitter, he with Dirt and Sprague earlier this morning. Do you think that there's been enough done by the Portland Trail Blazers in regards to developing and cultivating that clutch relationship to make it where it is in the organization's favor right now? Because we do see that there's the quid pro quo of, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Yeah, no, that does happen. And again, Jerami is a Clutch client. He was not originally a Clutch client. Jerami's agency was bought out by Clutch a year and a half ago. I reported on that one. And he's been kind of brought under the umbrella with the same agent who is now a part of Clutch. But again, you do all these things. Yusuf Nurkic, Clutch client. Chauncey Billups, Clutch client. A Clutch adjacent agent negotiated Joe Cronin's contract. There have been a lot of, scratching of backs, so to speak, giving Nurk his deal regardless, giving Jerami his deal regardless, giving Chauncey the extra year regardless. Like those are all things that, like, and I've said this multiple times, the difference between Joe and Neil is that Joe, I don't care what anybody believes, you can see it in his actions, he believes in that doing right by people, whether it's players or agents, and wanting to make deals where both sides feel good about how things go, will sometime come back to pay them, right? He's not doing it as a quid pro quo. It's a kind of a karmic thing, like do unto others as you were. That's why Dame ended up in Milwaukee. CJ ended up in New Orleans.
But I don't think that in those two situations there, I think it is fair to say that he's not doing it at the detriment of the organization as a whole, because where did Dame want to go? Miami. But he sent him to a spot where he could win a championship in a better situation than existed here in Portland, but it wasn't at the detriment of the organization because the deal that they got in return was better than what Miami had to offer. And for everybody that is panicked about, hey, they're still not doing that, they're still trying to turn over that trade into more assets than they could.
Yes. And so you get CJ to New Orleans, you get Cove and Norm going back home to LA. Like he has done things and tried to do the quote unquote right thing for guys in hopes of that, because you do need that extra little oomph to get over the hump, because you're in Portland, Oregon. You are a geographically isolated market. Nope. There is no team in the league that is further away from another team than Portland. With Seattle being taken away and Vancouver being taken away, that made Portland just an outpost. And so you've got to do extra stuff just to get on par with where they are. And so, yeah, I would hope that there would be not necessarily a quid pro quo, but a return of said favor. Clutch and LeBron applying a little bit more pressure to the Los Angeles Lakers, and Pelinka now saying that we will include draft picks if the right deal comes along, which is, come on, man. The only deal that's out there right now that would require draft picks that I'm aware of is Jerami Grant, because they've gone back to the Zach LaVine well, which would not require draft picks. They would get a draft pick in return.
Yeesh.
Zach LaVine on a first. The Bulls have attached a first to get off of him. The one that's interesting is they're also trying to get Lonzo Ball out of there. I don't think they're going to. I think he's more likely to medical retire. But you look at how and where the Lakers are right now, and I just don't see a world that exists where they can just status quo this thing, because you had LeBron spending all that time and putting the PR push of giving up money, and now you're going to come up with DeMar DeRozan on a one-year deal?
Yikes.
Good luck.